Hello. That's better. It's a lot lighter now. Anyway, welcome to my live, as I said I was going to do. We are going to be talking about pickups and games consoles, of course. Things that I would like to collect in the future. And also a couple of changes in here. That's what I want to do. I want to implement quite a few changes in here. Now, I mean, I don't want to move anything as such. I want to add. So adding another shelf to them shelves along here, just for the games cartridges, about this width. You know what I mean? I want to do. You know what I mean? I've got the brackets and I've got the wood to do that. Hopefully, hello Richard. Hopefully that will get done. You know what I mean? I need to move my handheld consoles off the shelves first, the bottom shelf, and then move it up by 2 stages on the brackets, and then do it that way. Yeah, probably will be doing that sometime this week once I can find the brackets. I know they're in a drawer or a cupboard somewhere in the front room. It's one of those, it needs to be done. Because I don't like this here. For some reason, I'll put it there. It holds all the cartridges okay. It's just that I keep on hitting it every time I want to play with me Pandora's box. It's one of those. Just need to get that done. It's getting to a stage now where basically there is no room at the inn, being honest. But changes will be done. You know what I mean? I've got a couple of pickups which I picked up a week ago. It was one of those that I could afford to spend a couple of quid, even though there's some changes happening when it comes down to income at the moment. You know what I mean? So yeah, it will get done. I think it's down to what I want to collect as well is the 32X, but I will be getting that anyway at some point. It'll be January probably now. I want to save up for it and get it done. Probably be January. It's one of those where basically, I don't know. Things change. It's one of those that I need to change it. You know what I mean? Yeah, it will get done. At some point, it will get done. It's just my head going through changes doesn't work at all. One of those madness. I'm so tired. I ain't made a video in this week. I've been so busy doing other stuff. I'm now officially captain of the bowls club as well. So I've been organising that lot. A bit out bowling. It's actually bowling actually helps my mental health, even though it's not been brilliant. It's one of those where basically that I can just get away for a couple of hours, organise everybody, and literally play a game and enjoy myself and have a couple of beers while I'm at it, which is good. It gives me some other focus apart from what's happening in life, if you know what I mean. Even though it's life, but I needed to, do something else as well as YouTube. You know what I mean? You've heard of Burnout, in you? You know what I mean? I think I had burned myself out at some point, but it's all the case of I had to take a rest from YouTube for a couple of days, for at least a week, just to get my head around what I'm going to do next, being honest, because I ain't got a clue. I know Evercade's coming out with loads of stuff, ain't they? So I will be taking a check on that, giving some information on that about the Evercade stuff. There's loads going on. I suppose Roger knows more than I do, being honest, but it's one of those things need to be done around here first before anything else. So yeah, as I say, implement the changes to take this out. I don't need this cupboard any longer because it's one of those. It's in my way. I didn't like. I put it. I found the cupboard outside. Put it there with all my Super Nintendo games on it because I'm not collecting the boxes. I'm just collecting loose cards. So I'll be moving that, and then moving from there. I'll be moving my my VHS tapes in front instead of having this there and then getting that shelf up, because the faster I get that shelf up, the better it is. You know what I mean? You know, for me personally, it's just me being picky, or me being fussy. I don't think it's that. I think it's down to that basically I just want that done so it's out of my way. So I can put my knees here, being honest, because I want to play on this. You know, I'd like to either, I don't mind standing up, but I can sit down and play it. So it's one of those. You know what I mean? You know, so to the pickups, I mean, you know, we have got some pickups for you. We have got another essentials. You know, I'm collecting essentials anyway. It's one of those where basically I've got at least 53 now, I think, out of 221. There's no way I'm collecting the 221. Some of them come from different countries. It's one of those. Do I? Don't I? The most expensive one is a FIFA game, if you want to know, and they come out in Germany, and it's FIFA 17, I think. You know what I mean? Saying like 120 quid. But I did get a Mortal Kombat versus DC Universe. Let's get it out of the light. That's better. I did get that. You know what I mean? You know, from CEX. You know, that's got its got to have a manual in you. So yeah, I got that, and I also got a couple of more cartridges to the collection. We've got what is Theme Park. I wouldn't mind creating a theme park. You know what I mean? You know? And then the other one is Jungle Strike, the helicopter game. Pretty good. That was pretty good as well. You know. And the last one, because, you know, I had to pick it up. You know what I mean? You know, I can't even see it because my eyesight is that bad that I can't remember the name of it. Can you read that? Because I can't. You know what I mean? You know, it's an aeroplane game, so fighter jet plane, yeah, game. You know, passive. I've switched the light on above me. I might be able to read it. Oh, it's one of those. Yeah, I mean, I picked up them, which were good, through the post. There's a couple of things coming through the post, but they're not games. They're kind of personal stuff. But yeah, so yeah, seems to be good. So yeah, I mean, I'm aiming to once everything financially has been sorted out, I'll be able to do more pickups. You know, I'm still waiting for a few things. You know what I mean? As I said, a few things that I want to pick up. They're on my list, which are quite reasonably cost. So, as I say, once the all the finances have been sorted, we should be okay, up and running again. If you want to chat, I know there's 4 of you in chat. Please say hello. I don't bite, not yet anyway. I ain't got, you know what I mean? I don't think my teeth are strong enough nowadays. Anyway, anyway, right. You know what I mean? You know, I will be picking up a few things, changes to the room. I don't want to make too many changes. That's, you know what I mean? Not too many changes, but I need to implement that one, especially that one. You know, it's doing my head in. And I don't know where it's OCD. I don't know. I just want that implemented so it's out of my way, out of my head. You know, the other one is to implement another TV in here, a bigger TV instead of the smaller TV above my hi-fi, which is there, which you can see here. You see here, there's a small TV. Goes to the DVD player on my hi-fi system. Now, I have got a bigger TV in the shed. I will be trying to measure it first before I actually put it in place. Yeah, I mean, that small TV is only something like 12 inches. It's really small. So I will be putting that up at some point as well. So there's a couple of changes in there that I want to do, you know, but apart from that, I think the room looks quite good as it is, being honest. So, you know what I mean? When we do move, eventually, I'll probably get another screen instead of having 3 screens like I've got now. The 3 ultra wides I've got in front of me, these ones. I will probably just have 1 screen. Probably have a 49-inch curved screen. Probably, you know what I mean? You know, that's what I want to do, or to be a flash sod like I normally am. I won't mind having the 49-inch screen curving around above all the screens that I've got now. So yeah, when I do move, it's probably one of them that can be implemented at some point. Yeah, it's one of those. I can't do nothing until I get a room to myself. You know what I mean? So it's one of those. You know what I mean? It will get done. And I said the pickups that I just showed you, pretty good. I love my Super Nintendo console. And the other console that I might be after is the Nintendo Entertainment System, the original box one. I've got the Mini. It's not plugged in. I actually moved it because I could plug it in at some point. Because all my minis are plugged in. And Chris come to me on Friday. He was quite he was quite impressed with the room. Excuse my other half screaming her head off. So yeah, it can be implemented if I can put it there if I want to. It's all the case of Chris saw the room. I think he enjoyed the room, being honest. It's amazing what you take for granted in your own room. It's one of those where you're going to take it for granted, because you walk into it every single day. You look at it and think, yeah, you don't realise what you've got until you actually sit in the room and just take stock and take a look and then say, right, what the hell is in here? And you don't realise that you do take it for granted. You take everything for granted. You walk into a games room and you say, wow, that's cool, but it's your room. I know Chris is doing his thing in his own room. Like he's kind of making another room, which is 4 times the size of what he's got. But that's going to be something for not only Chris to look forward to, also me, because I go to Chris's quite regularly. So it's one of those, Chris, isn't it? So it's one of those where basically that it's an adjustment in itself. But they say when we do eventually move, it's going to be hopefully 2 reception rooms, 2 bedrooms. Use the reception room as a bedroom for Tanya, and then I will have probably, if the rooms are quite big, I'll make one room into a games room and one room that for overflow. Like other games or games consoles and stuff like that. It depends what happens, being honest. See what happens. We're getting there. It's ongoing. Yeah, of course it is, mate. Everything's ongoing. Certain things are happening. It's one of those that needs to be sorted sooner than later. They say the council has got a 22-week turnaround, but they still need a form of ID and stuff like that. So we're sorting that out. The letters from the doctors are coming. They're just slow. Doctors are slow. Can I have a letter with my conditions, please? Yes. Okay, no problem. Yes, but how long is it going to take? Oh, it could take a week. Okay, how much is it going to cost me? They ain't told me the cost yet. I don't know how much a letter is. So I wouldn't know. New room. Yeah, new room. I'll be happy with just a room that's around about 25 foot by around about 12, 13 foot. That'll do me. And I'm going to fill it up. Morning, everybody. What do you mean morning? Why is it morning, Roger? Oh, dear. No, it's not morning yet. It's one of those. It will get done. My room looks good as it is. I just want to make a couple of changes. I'll be happy. Once them changes are implemented and I filled the shelf up with Nintendo's Nintendo Super Nintendo cartridges, I will be happy once all 50 are up there on the shelf. And then it gets to a stage where do I collect, as I said, quite a few people are saying to me, collect the Nintendo 64 cartridges as well. I know there's loads of them out there, cheap, might be worth it. Something to do after Christmas. I'm going to do nothing until after Christmas. Yeah, it's morning when you're doing nights. That's true. Yeah, I mean, so you ain't just woken up, I presume. Oh well, Roger, never mind. Yeah, things will happen. It's just going to take time. I ain't got, I I haven't got a lot of time. I I'm busy the weekend. I was bowling twice. It's one of those, I've got a lot going on at this precise moment. YouTube has just taken a step back this week. I'll make a video by the end of this week, and then I'm bowling at the weekend, and then usual stuff. Life is takes over from what I want to do. So that's the way it is, and there's nothing I can do about it. I will be making a video at some point. I don't know what of yet. Somebody did ask me, have I got an Evercade? Could I do my Evercade collection? Yes, I can. I can do that. There's no problem. I ain't got much, but what I have got, is quite good anyway. So that'd be good. I've lost subs lost subs this week. I don't know why. YouTube have got a new algorithm, if you'd like to know. You're not only losing subs, you're also losing views. Because their new algorithm are not for a very small YouTuber. I heard this from somebody who's big on YouTube, and they were losing subs left, right, and centre. They were losing like 300-400 subs. Their algorithms are getting worse. Don't get me wrong. You'll put a video up and you'll say, right, this should get me some views, and then all of a sudden, you don't get hardly any views that you should be getting, because the algorithm is saying, oh, that person didn't watch for 10 seconds, so you don't classify it as a view. If somebody's going to watch 10 seconds of your video, surely you're going to watch the whole lot because they're interested in the subject you're talking about or you're doing. It's one of those. The algorithms has changed. YouTube has changed them. It's not for the better, because even big YouTubers now are having the same problem. Yeah, that counts, Richard, but it's all the case of there is other factors involved as well. Okay, UK laws about content as well. Yeah, I agree, but it's also their algorithms change at least 4 or 5 months, every 4 or 5 months. It's not just now. It changes every 4 or 5 months. The algorithms change every 4 or 5 months. They change them. They don't leave them alone. They say, right, this person's doing this person's doing that. Right, are crazy. It is what it is. I do YouTube because I feel it keeps my head above water. So, if I'm feeling down or I'm a bit depressed, I will do a video. It picks me up. It makes my mental health better, and it has done. I can't say the changes that's happening now when it comes down to me moving finances, which you lot know about, right? That's made my mental health worse. So basically, it's one of those. Yeah, I'll get a video done. Hopefully you will do. Hopefully I'll do it as well. I will get a video up this week. There's no problem with that. So basically, I think Tanya's chasing me bird around. She let the bird out for the first time, and he's not going back in his cage. He'll go back in his cage when he's ready. It's highly funny. Oh dear. You know, you can carry on calling Barney. He won't help you, love. He will come to you when he's ready. You know, leave him out, and then he'll go in the cage when he's hungry. Bound to. Oh, it's highly hilarious. You know, we left our cockatiels in. You know what I mean? You know, and we let the new bird out. So, yeah. It's one of those. So YouTube being what YouTube does. So anyway, next console. Everybody's saying the 32X. Yeah, it probably will be done in January. It's not going to be done before then. It's one of them crazy ones where basically I can save up for bit by bit. I'm not rushing it. You know, yes, I'd love it to add to what I've got, but there's no rush. Yeah, that's no problem. You know what I mean? Yeah, I think Cherry's one of them dogs where basically that she barks at everybody, and she sees a new face, she'll sit down or she'll just run into the bedroom. You know, she's one of those dogs where basically it's one of those. Cherry's one of those dogs. It's very placid, very calming. And I mean, and when she does sleep on my head, she farts in my face. So it's highly hilarious, being honest. And then she does a run, I love her. You know? Too much, Chris. And just up as well. Same, yeah. I mean, everybody's had the same when it comes down to subs and all that. You know what I mean? You know, it's one of those. Not a lot you can do about it. Ah, dear. So yeah, I mean, you know, is it worth buying a Japanese Saturn? That's the other question. They're quite reasonably cost. You know, the games are not that bad in price, I don't think. I think Chris would know more about it than I would, being honest, because I like his Japanese Saturns. They're quite nice colour. You know, yeah, it'd be great. That's another one on my list. I mean, the Nintendo Entertainment System, not the Mini. I've got the Mini, as I said. I want the other one, the original one. You know, I can imagine that sitting here as well. You know, with the Super Nintendo sitting here. Yeah, you know what I mean? You know, it'd be well cool. Plugging it all. I mean, Chris knows I've plugged everything in. It's highly hilarious. He wondered that I plugged everything in. I did. I had so many connections in the back of this TV. I thought I run everything. I run this. I run my verses through it. You know what I mean? I run my Pandora's box, my VHS player. What else have I run through it? I can't too much. It's not like the other TV that's got all the mini consoles. I mean, Mega Drive, Mega CD already plugging through there. All the plug and play systems are in there. You know, absolutely crazy. Yeah, the room looks all right when it's dusted and cleaned. It's quite nice in here, but I don't get in here that much anyway. So one of them crazy ones. Well, I am tired. You know what I mean? I'm only getting 5 hours of sleep. The fridge and the microwave kettle. Fridge, yeah. You'll be putting the whole kitchen in your room, Chris, and you know that. You'll have a microwave, you'll have a kettle, you'll have a fridge. Yeah, you'll have all your sweets like you normally do in your little pot, you know. Oh dear, yeah. You know, you'll have all your sweets in that little pot, you know, thinking, yeah, I'll have some munchies today. You know what I mean? You know, I can imagine that. The only thing that's missing, Chris, is a hammock to sit in the corner so you can sleep in there eventually. Oh dear. Yeah, the fridge, microwave, yeah, everything like that, Chris will do. Everything like that. Yes, sodding diabetes. Well, I think it's all the case of, you know, I mean, I was borderline diabetic last year. Because I've lost a bit of weight, I'm now not borderline diabetic. Last test I had was about 3 weeks ago. So, you know what I mean? It's all the case of I'm not like that now. You know what I mean? You know, I'm still the same weight though. That doesn't make a lot of sense because in the winter I'll put it on by a couple of kilograms, and in the summer it just kind of like disappear. You know, I'm still 15 stone. I fluctuate between 15 and 14 and a half, depending on summer, winter. You know, during the winter I eat more. Well, it's obvious because you're not going out as much. You know, you pig out on a load of stuff then, don't you? I do. I know that I pig out. If I'm hungry, I'll pig out, which is craziness. I think we all guilty of that at some point. Especially cheese. You're active, Tony. Yeah, that's true. I do run around a lot. You know, I do a lot. You know, I mean, I think what makes me knackered is me running around. I have to do things like, yeah, I mean, I ain't done no shopping this week, which I will do tomorrow. I'll get some shopping in tomorrow. I don't need a lot. Yeah, I am active. I'm constantly on the go, but that's part of my HDHD as well. So it's one of them crazy ones where basically that my head is running at 100 miles per hour, but my body is trying to keep up. And my body can't keep up with my brain now because I'm still thinking I'm 20 when I'm coming up to 60. I need to slow down, but the problem is I can't. My head is going and my body is going, oh, slow down, will you? And I can't slow down. I'm constantly moving on the go, you know, doing everything I need to. Cherry's on the bed sleep, you know, which is nice. At the moment, she's getting large, so she takes up quite a bit of the bed now. But then again, she keeps me warm, which is good. Oh, cheese. Oh, God. Yeah. Edam normally. I ain't had a bit of Edam for a while, but I love my cheese. Yeah. And then cheese sandwiches, Rich, they used to be thick, didn't they? Really thick cut bread, boy. It used to be. That's crazy. I'll say I'm going to change that TV up here. That one there. Can you see the picture? The little one? I'm going to change it. Put a bigger TV in there. Run it through. I've run the DVD through that hi-fi. So I mean, you know, I showed Chris the other day. Literally sounds good. You know. Anyway, Sega Saturn. It's the Japanese version, 90 quid, I think. Be worth getting. And then Japanese games are like compact disc, aren't they? That's the size of them. Yeah. Doorstep cheese on. Oh, don't, Rich, please. You make me hungry. Yeah, it's one of those. Do I? Don't I? Japanese Sega Saturn. How many Sega Saturns are there? I think Chris is one missing, isn't you? If you let me know. Unless you've got all of them, you've got about 5 of them, ain't you? 5 Japanese. One's 5. How the hell is there 5 though? Or are they all region though? All region ones. It's one of those, isn't it? Yeah, it's worth getting. I mean, check on eBay. eBay. Japanese Sega Saturn console. Okay. We've got one working. They do the white one. It's white one, £45, 99 Sega Saturn. That's a Japanese version. There's a grey one in there. Yeah, I've got 5. Yes, 3 more to get. 3 more to get. How many variations were there? You know what I mean? Japanese Saturn, black, normal. The dark one, Sega Vector, they called it. 119. 119. That's quite nice. Japanese tested. You know what I mean? Get it by the end of the month. Okay. 3 to get. If you notice, I have 2 Japanese games. I've used the Action Replay and Play Japan. Oh, right, okay, yeah. That sounds good, though. I mean, you know. There's a few you'll never get. That wouldn't surprise me. That's craziness, though. I mean, they know how to make their money, though, don't they? I mean, you know. I was updating my Mac. Some of the software. That's the best way we should. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, okay. Yeah. I think I'll buy a Japanese Saturn. Buy the games for it. Step down converter, yeah? For the power, because it's 110, isn't it? Not 240. I think it's 110. You know what I mean? But I like to collect the I know you do. Yeah, so do I. But I mean, it'd be forever ongoing, wouldn't it? But again, that's the idea of collecting, I suppose. It's an ongoing obsession. I know Panzer Lagoon Saga, about 600 quid, I think, now. £400-500, something like that. Well, I know you won't sell it. I mean, I'll have to take it off your grave, Rich. Yeah, I'll definitely take it off your grave, Rich. I'll be the first one in your place, mate. Literally saying to your brother, he don't need this, does he? And they'll say, not really. I'll say, right, okay, no problem. I'll buy it off him. I'll give him a tenner for it. Yes, Lewis will have it. Well, if I kill Lewis after you, that means I'm going to get it anyway. Oh, dear. Crazy. Yeah, I'm going to have to get a copy of that, though, Rich. No matter how much money it is. So, who's coming to the London Games Market next year? I want Street Fighter movie. You can do, Chris. No, how much is it now? Unless you can cash him out. Oh, yeah, that's the problem. He's quick, isn't he? Yeah. I don't know how much it is now. How much is it now? Street Fighter, the movie on the Sega Saturn. You know, let's check how much it is now. Street Fighter. The movie. Sega Saturn. Yeah. Yeah, kind of looking in it. Ain't telling me. No, I know. Unless you can get £350. Only pay 40. Wow, that's crazy money, isn't it? Roger, 59 in the shop where I help out. Only 59. So what's the difference then? The first, there's so many editions of them, mate. Wasn't there two that come out, and then they reprint the other one. Let's show a picture. No, not the Saturn movie. Not the Saturn movie. No, not 59. The game, Street Fighter, the game is 60 quid. Yeah. The movie, 300, as Chris said, 350 quid. I mean, I've had it years, so yeah, I take it at that. Yeah, so would I. 59 quid. Not mine, you know. Movie. Set. Well, they got one on eBay, 90 quid. Or, you know what I mean, they got pre-owned. So what's wrong with it? What's wrong with it at 15 quid? Looks fucking battered as shit, mate. 15. Read full description. Full description. Okay, let's read the description. Yeah. Crazy money. Yeah, it is a bit more expensive. I mean, it's gone down since the last time I looked at it, being honest. It's one of those. You know, you can get the Saturn version for 15 quid. Which ain't that bad, being honest. The Saturn version, Japanese, is 15 quid. You know what I mean? You know, at 59, it's not a bad price, is it, really? You know, maybe as Chris said, 350. 350 for 59 is it's a big leap, isn't it? You know? So what's wrong with this one then? Disc has a mark on it as pictured. Disc rot. Chip doesn't work. No, ain't worth it then. So what's the 90 quid one? There's one for 90 quid, the movie. Oh, you know. So what's wrong with it? Condition is good. It said it's good at 90 quid. It said it's good at 90 quid. You won't be able to see that because of the glare. But it's 90 quid. You know what I mean? You know. So, yeah. Is what it is, isn't it? It's one of those. 90 quid, you might have 90 or 60, actually 9, you might as well buy it, Chris. You know? Especially if you're seeing it for 350, which is totally crazy money, man. That is totally crazy money. So what happened? The Atari Jaguar is another console I'm after. I mean, Chris got his Atari Jaguar CD as well. I mean, you're talking about £1,000 for that. Easy. Now, I mean, it depends whether it works or not as well, because the ribbons seem to go on it. So I've heard. So yeah, something's going on with that one as well. I heard there's quite a few problems with them. Yeah, I mean, you know, it's having space to put all this stuff. As I say, I'm moving things around in here. You know. Oh dear. It's one of those. So what's next on the hit list? Anybody want to buy anything else? Are they thinking about buying anything else? It's down to affordability. That's what it is, isn't it? How, when, and why. Oh, craziness. So there's 4 in chat. So, you know, we've got other things to think of. So what else are we going to be buying in the future? You know, I know Chris is doing his room, so most of his money's going on that, which is understandable. But that room is massive. You know, that's kind of. I mean, I said to Chris when I went down when I saw it, we measured it, and I said we measured it, and it was 26 foot by 19, wasn't it? 19 foot. You had a 2. Yeah, I mean, it was. I mean, you know, you added. You said it was going to be 25. It's only 24 foot, wasn't it? So you added 2 foot. It is one big room, though. That garden's been taken over by Chris. Crazy. It's one of those. It's a big room, but it's worth having the space. It's future-proofing yourself, you know. So yeah, it's one of those. That's a big room. If I get away with it, you should do. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, all you're doing is building a structure that can be taken down eventually. But then again, you're going to be living in it. So, well, not living as living in it, but, you know, it's going to be a games room, isn't it? Need to check. Yeah, but it's too late now. Most of it's up. So, the outskirts of it is up. The walls are up. Is the roof on yet? That's the question. You know, but how much room can you take up in your garden before it becomes a structure that you're not living in? Definitely need to check. But then again, you've got people coming around checking anyway. Not as a, you know what I mean. You know what the council do? Checking houses. That's what they're doing at the moment. Structure, you know, was meant to be 19 by 20, but Gary made it bigger to 27. Oh dear, that's craziness, that is. So you say you've taken over the garden. I say you've still got a bit there, haven't you? It's not taking up the full garden, is it? Or, you know, it's one of those where if you were taking up the whole of the garden and you was building it by brick, I suppose they would have had to say something. But as it's made of wood, it's completely different, you know. So I don't think they're going to worry about it, being honest, Chris. You know, you have enough. You know what I mean? I'm just wondering when you're going to fit. Are you fitting the sofa in? Garden never gets taken used. Yeah, it gets used. Charlene takes. Yeah, that's true. They're not always in the summer months. Yeah, winter months. Kids ain't gonna go out there very often, are they? Being honest, they're gonna be sitting there literally indoors doing their own thing. The kids, you know. But then again, Charlene's saving the council money because if she moved into a council place, they'll have to rehome her, which will cost money. So building that is going to be cheaper. I've got to get the sofa, or you keep moaning. Oh dear. No, I'm not moaning. I'm just saying you're going to have a sofa, aren't you? So you're going to put a sofa in there with all the cup holders in the middle, wouldn't you? So you can put your projector up. So you'll be able to play games through a projector. That's the idea, isn't it? That's my idea for you, anyway. You know, I can just about fit my projector in here. You know, don't like a hard chair. I'll get a numb bum, Chris. That's what it is. Yeah, I mean, you know, it's one of those. You know, I sit on the chair that I've been allocated to go to Chris's is a folding chair. You know, it's one of them ones that I don't sit. I sit on it and I get a numb bum after about an hour and a half, and then I decide I've got to go to loo, and then I move myself. Oh dear, crazy. Yeah, I like to see that, man. You know, if not, Chris, when I change this chair, because I'm going to change it eventually, I'll bring this chair to you. So I've got this chair to sit in. It's actually got my indentations of my own backside in my chair. Yeah. And all the time you used to, you can't put up it up. Oh dear! All the times I've been there, I still can't put that chair up properly. I think I've done it twice since. I think I've done it twice since then. Do you know what I mean? It's one of those things where the chair. No, it's not in my brain to do that. It's something so simple can be so complicated in Tony's head. Thank you, Roger. Chat tomorrow. I mean, okay, Roger. See you later, mate. You take care. Have a nice night at work if you are working tonight. You know, yeah. So yeah, it's one of those. You know what I mean? It's one of those chairs that I don't know. As I said, what I'll do, if I change chair, I'm bringing this to yours. I'll bring this to your new room. So I've got my own chair. You know, it's not the comfiest chair anyway. This one. You know. Take care, Roger. Speak to you soon. It's one of those, isn't it? I'm getting old. See, you know what I mean? You know. So, you know what I mean? Well, we're 60 next year, so basically we're definitely getting old. You know. Unfortunately, some of us age faster than others. You know, one of those things. Crazy. You know, it's one of those. Right, Sega Saturn, Japanese, 32X. What else? Oh yeah, you know what I mean. It's the Atari Jaguar. I heard the games are absolutely crap on the Atari Jaguar as well. I heard they're not that good. I think there's one or two of them that are decent, and the rest of them are absolutely not good at all. That's what I've heard, but you've got to have the console. But I don't want a boxed one, so it'll probably be cheaper as a not boxed one, probably. You know. Then again, Atari Jaguar looks quite nice with the CD on the top. The CD's mega money, isn't it? It's crazy money. Oh dear. This game collecting don't get any cheaper. You know? You say to yourself, well, I just want to collect this, I want to collect this, I want to collect this. Number one, where would you put it? And number two is that basically you need to make space for it. And the other one is number two is how much it's going to cost you to get that console and put it somewhere. Are you going to use it, which is the other one? Do you actually physically want to use the console? You know, I use my Mega CD now. I actually play games on it. I've been playing Terminator on it. Pretty good. Snatcher is the other one. It's kind of more of a role-playing game, but there's loads of text in it. But what my mother-in-law paid for it was totally crazy money. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Totally stupid. But then again, it's nice to have in the collection. You know what I mean? You know? My girls. To Nintendo 64. you both colours. Yeah, all right. Is that what you're? Yeah, I know you're after that. That's for Christmas. Yeah, that must have cost a bit though. Because them consoles are not cheap. Well, you have the room to put them, wouldn't you? You got all that space, Chris. You don't know what to do with the space. Trust me. You'll be sitting there thinking, God, how much space have I got? Loads, mate. Loads and loads of space. And you've got the orange one and the blue one and the yellow. That's free though. Oh, blue and yellow. Oh, blue and yellow. Yeah, orange one. Yeah, and blue and yellow one. Okay, that's 2 consoles. Yeah. No, wait. Are they boxed though? That's it. That's it. That's all you get for Christmas. I don't even know what I'm getting for Christmas yet. I ain't even thought about Christmas yet. No box. Okay, just the consoles. That's all right, I don't even know what I'm getting for Christmas. I'm not even bothered. I'm giving the kids money. Know what I mean? Grandkids money. That's it. Don't even know what we're getting for Christmas yet. Haven't got the room for the box anyway. No, of course not. I understand that. Getting box stuff just takes up space. That's how come most of my boxes are out in Norway. You know what I mean? All the consoles are out of them. You know, apart from 1 or 2, I think. I still got that Mega Drive in a box that's literally still got the Mega Drive in it. You know, all this plastic and stuff like that. You know. Big up, Big T. You know, always a Batman. Yeah. There you go, Goldtooth. Hi, mate. How you doing? You know. How you doing, mate? Yeah. No, I mean, nice to see Goldtooth on there. Nice one, mate. You know. My wife, loves your channel, mate. You know what I mean? You know, she loves Tanya loves what you do with your channel. She loves all the banter and stuff like that. You know what I mean? You know, yeah. It's one of those, mate. It's you know what I mean? You know, it's good, mate. Always high in life. Thanks. You know. Absolutely brilliant channel. Goldtooth Gaming, brilliant channel. I love the room as well. Are you going to do a room tour at some point, mate? Because I'd like to see your room because you've got some really, really nice stuff in there. You know? So I'm not. No. You certainly. Tanya loves your channel. I do, mate. It's absolutely brilliant. You know. And she can't believe what you say. She's actually got her hand in her mouth going, I hope you said that. Look, you are what you are, mate. We love it. You know, absolutely brilliant. What a lovely channel. You know what I mean? You know, what a star. Yeah, she my other half, Tanya, as people know, she's disabled and she laughs her head off. She loves the channel. She loves what you do. You know, I love it as well. You know, I said to you, like my mic, really, but I don't mind. I love it. Brilliant guy as well, mate. You know, exactly. Say what you think. You know, absolutely brilliant. You know, yeah. We were talking about Japanese games and Japanese consoles, especially the Saturn. I know you love your Saturn, your Japanese Saturn as well. You know, absolutely brilliant. Dear. Yeah, Tanya's one of these people that loves your channel. She goes, "Oh, Goldtooth got a new video up yet?" I said, "Yeah, you subscribed to him yet?" She goes, "Yeah, I've subscribed." I said, "That's good." You know, quite a few people were saying, "Oh, you're a bit over the top." But I don't see that. I see that's your personality, and that's what makes your channel. You know. Thanks, mate. Nice one. Thanks for that. I appreciate that. Yeah, as you said, Tanya's disabled and she can't move a lot, but she does love watching YouTube. She doesn't imports on my thing. Yeah, imports. Yeah, no snowflakes, Tony. Yeah, exactly. Imports are good. You know, I ain't got a Japanese Saturn myself. I'm thinking about getting one. I have to get one at some point for my collection. Love it. No, plus there's CD size, isn't they? So you can fit in a CD case, which is absolutely brilliant. What you did, absolutely brilliant. Yeah, it's nice to hear from certain people on my live. I've been going on about. 32X is another thing on my radar. Just in case you didn't see my pickups, people. Chris saw me pick this up the other day. Put it over this side. You can see it better. That's better. Mortal Kombat versus DC Universe on the Essentials. I'm collecting Essentials. Have to. It's the colour spines that go on the shelf. Absolutely love that. So, yeah. This. Can you read that? Got that. Also got Jungle Strike. 50 before Christmas. That's what I'm aiming for. 50 cartridges before Christmas. I'm on 26, I think. Theme Park is the other one I bought. These were cheap. These were dead cheap. Absolutely brilliant. What next console? 32X, I think. Japanese. I would ask for a Japanese Dreamcast for Christmas. See what I get. Because they're quite reasonably cost. Especially with a controller, and you need the cables, don't you? And you need a step down converter for the power. Because as I said earlier, it's a 110. It's not 240. You blow everything up otherwise. But I did get some stuff. Absolutely brilliant. It's one of those things where I want to get them. I want a Japanese to play the consoles. Whatever is next, GG. Still ain't opening my Switch 2. It's not turning on to me at all. The problem is the Switch 2 is expensive, isn't it? Usually when Nintendo literally, it's one of those where you say to yourself, it's crazy. Why are they forking out that kind of money for the Switch 2? Hello Kitty for the Dreamcast, Tony. Pink one, green. Oh dear. Maybe worth it. Hello Kitty. Did they do a Hello Kitty Dreamcast though? It's a good console. Yeah, of course it is. Got to get one then. You look around at this stuff and you say, yeah, my collection's only going to get bigger. Yes, pink and green. Okay. Is that the ones you got missing, Chris? Because at the end of the day, it's all the case of, it's got to be, isn't it? Hello Kitty Dreamcast. The Dreamcast. Oh, crazy. Oh, no. Boots and sheets, consoles, big special editions, OLED, and play none. take it, and then I bought 7 Switch consoles, 6 special editions, and the OLED one, and play none. Why don't you play them? Well, the box, I presume. Yeah, you know, I'll take it they're boxed, so basically they're going to stay boxed. The LGT. Why not play them? Well, it's one of those. You know what I mean? You know, it's a collecting, isn't it? You keep them in boxes. Oh, crazy! That is crazy, isn't it? That is totally mad, isn't it? You know what I mean? Oh, dear madness, man. It's better than buying meth. Now that is funny. Oh dear, that is hilarious. Oh dear. Buy a Switch instead of meth. Yeah, okay. You're probably right. Actually, you are right. You know, it's one of those crazy ones, being honest. You know what I mean? You know, new consoles, I tend PS5 for trophies and sometimes Xbox Series S for the games. Yeah. I mean, I've got, you know what I mean? Yeah, good point. Yeah. I've got the Series S. I've never used my Xbox very often. You know, I'm a PlayStation person. But my PlayStation 5 gets used quite a bit. Especially, I mean, you know, Formula 1. I play on there. You know what I mean? You know, I had to buy the updated version because we're doing the league. Me and our friends are doing the league. So yeah, you spend your money on meth, you won't live long. Although to play it. Oh, crazy. I use a series. How much more than I do? Yeah, my ex though. Yeah, I mean, you know, I've got to give her my S. Yeah, I mean, you know, when it first come out. Yeah, I mean, you know, I've done a video on it. There is a video on it on my channel. There's a video on my channel when I click when I got it from Microsoft for free. I've done a video on it, so yeah, one of those. It's one of those crazy ones, being honest. You know. There's that. I mean, oh madness. You know. I've got a problem. Talking about problems, I've got a problem, not personal problem. I've got a problem of signing into my my PlayStation portal. I don't know why. Every time I try signing into my account, oh, it's not that account, it's another account. And I'm going, oh, crazy. It works brilliantly, don't get me wrong. When I sign into it properly, it works brilliantly, you know. But I just have a problem of signing in from my PlayStation 5 to my portal. And then my portal says, right, that doesn't exist. Try another account. I'm thinking, I'll give up. You know what I mean? You know, because I don't use the portal as often as I should do. It's all the case of that if I do sign in, it's very rarely. You know, I didn't pay a lot for the portal. You know what I mean? You know, quite a few people know that I only paid 80 quid for it. And it was brand new in box. You know what I mean? Well, you know what I mean? I went all the way from where I live in Kent, so I went all the way from where I live, right, all the way to this person on train. It was only like £4.80 return on the train, and I gave you 80 quid, and then you know what I mean, you know, and then he gave me the bag. I checked it before I left. It was all brand new, sealed, 80 quid. Best pickup I've ever had for ages, you know, for the portal. Yeah, it's a great bit of kit. I agree. It's a lovely bit of kit, you know, but it's me signing in. Oh, crazy. You know what I mean? I will get it done, you know, So, you know what I mean? Because I like to play on my PlayStation while Tanya's watching the TV. You know what I mean? You know, so, you know, it's one of those. I will get it done. I want to sign. I'll keep it signed in then. You know, all I have to do is press it on, don't sign in. One day, hopefully, PS5 and Paul. Yeah. You can stream now on the portal. You know what I mean? From your PS5 to your portal and stream from there. You can do that now. Yeah, absolutely brilliant bit of kit. Love it to pieces. You know, it's in my front room with me PS5. And I suppose when I do move, you need to see Rod Stewart on the down train. Did you know? I didn't see Rod Stewart on the downtown train. Dear. No, I didn't. You know what I mean? Honestly, GG, no, don't rush. I'm still happily playing with the PS4. Yeah. I mean, I like my PS4. I bought the first one that came out. Still got it. Works perfectly still. Yeah. You know what I mean? You know, I'll probably do a gameplay video on that. I want to do my gameplay video anyway. I'll get that done. You know. So yeah. Yeah, it's tight. It's time to get a PS5, Chris. The PS6 coming out. We've been out 5 years now, isn't it? PS5, 2020, wasn't it? When it first come out. You know what I mean? I must have got it a year later. You know, it's one of those. It's one of those where I had to get it, and I think, you know what I mean. And Chris got his Series X as well at the same time. So it's been 4 years roughly. I think we did wait, or did we? I can't remember now. Has it been that long, Chris? Is it that long? No, I mean, you know, not many games, especially for the PS, most come out on for both. Yeah, that was the problem, isn't it? Because it's backwards compatible. So, you know what I mean? I've got a game called the Isle of Man TT White game, which I love. It's a PS4 game, but it comes out. I can put it through my PS5 and it plays brilliantly. Not been 4 years, Tony. Okay, can't remember. I mean, how long we've been? Yeah, it must be less than 4 years then. Yeah, you're right. You know, it's got to be 4 years. Because I look at it and think, hang on a minute, if the PS5 come out in 2020, the original, right? Not the Slim or everything else that's or the Pro, right? So yeah, it's 4 years. Yeah, it's got to be crazy, man. Where's time gone? You know, kids grow up, grandkids grow up. My grandkids are 6 next year, and I'm thinking, where the hell does the time gone? You know, Lewis is what, 12 now, 13, 12, 13. It's one of those, isn't it? You know what I mean? You know, life goes past so quick. Yeah, I mean, you consider 5 years ago, this room wasn't what it's like now. I mean, my collection wasn't that big. I mean, when did I meet you, Chris? 5 years ago? 2020? Or was it before lockdown? Because lockdown was 2020, wasn't it? There was a lockdown 2020, yeah. It's one of those, isn't it? Crazy. I'm going to play through with Willie last video. I can't come back. I'm going to do a playthrough of my Willie before last video, so I can't come back. Yeah, crazy, man. It's one of those, isn't it? You know? Yes, 5 years ago, I had mine since 2022. By the way, Lewis is 11. God, man. How time flies, man. That's crazy. Kids grow up fast, man. That's craziness. Kids grow up. Grandkids to grow up. Craziness. You know? I love this bit, though. This what I've got my Pandora box through this TV. This actually moves, so I can move it around. You know? So if I don't want it showing, in bed, because this is a bedroom, in bed I can watch that from there, or I'll move it around, I can twist it around. So, yeah. So it looks like the Starship Enterprise in my room, mate. Yeah, Lewis is a lovely kid. He's grown up now, though. Big kid now. Trust me. We have to get together again, though. You know what I mean, at some point. Get us all together, because that'd make a good video, like we did last time. Not sure about you guys. YouTube isn't much fun these days. Lockdown. Yeah, you're right. You know what I mean? Yeah, I agree. Yeah, look, I mean, YouTube ain't definitely not what we used to be like. I mean, I started my channel in 2020. 2020, yeah. I think it was the beginning of the last lockdown I started my channel. You know? Must be. But then again, my channel has been up longer than that, because it says 2017 on it. You know what I mean? So it's now. I think the algorithm, as I said earlier, algorithms on YouTube buggers everybody up. You know, big YouTubers, small ones, especially small ones, you don't get a chance. You know, my channel's quite small, so you know, it gets views. Yes, I agree. You know what I mean? It gets views. It's one of those where shorter videos work up to a point. They had changed that. You know. Yeah, there's a lot of. I mean, the other channel that I like is what's his name? OG Duffy's channel. He's quite good. I think most people watch that. Yeah, I mean, you know, he don't live that far, does he? I mean, as I say, we're in Kent, so we don't live that far, you know. But saying that, I met some good friends. Yeah, I mean, we were met through YouTube, didn't we, Chris? You know what I mean? It's the Mega Drive games, Chris, if you remember. I keep going on about it, but you know what I mean? Yeah, my channel was supposed to be a wide audience of Call of Duty online. Not sure what happened. I think your channel went. Your channel now is on pickups and stuff like that now, isn't it? You know what I mean? You know, some of the stuff that you pick up, mate, is absolutely crazy. I wouldn't even think. I think of where the hell did he get that from? You know, Gamer, hi Tony Tech, love your channel, love the Mega Drive, and also, yeah, I love my Mega Drive. Don't get me wrong. You know, yeah, you know what I mean. All channels change in time. Yeah, of course they do. You know what I mean. You know, just a regular gamer. How you doing, mate? Yeah. I should go through my Sega stuff more often on my channel. I agree. I just think it's timing. you know, certain people know my channel. They know I'm a full-time carer, so the time that I haven't got, being honest, it's a shame I can't put more time into my channel. I would do if I could. I do try and do 2 videos a week. I've had a break last week because personal issues has taken over. So we'll be making a video as soon as I can. It's nice to go live with you lot. Absolutely brilliant. You know, yeah. I told Tanya I'll be out of the room by 8, so I've still got half past. I'll call it a day. You know what I mean? Yeah, bless you. Tons of shops, Yorkshire, surrounding a few more. Doorway to Darkness is quite a brilliant shop. YouTube intro music, yeah. You know, if you do that way, you've got quite a few more retro games than Kent's got. I mean, we got hardly any. I mean, you know, CEX, I don't classify that as a retro shop. You know what I mean? Cash Converters, definitely not. You know, doing a lot down here. You know, yeah. You know what I mean? It's one of those. No, I mean, in Kent, we're very limited of what we can. There is a retro shop down in Swanley, so I heard. Yeah, there's a retro shop in Swanley, which ain't that far. You know what I mean? You know, yeah. You know what I mean? You know. You know what I mean? It's one of those. You know, yeah. It's one of those. Few and far between. Being honest, you know. Craziness. It's one of those. Is what it is. Don't mind me, my screens are about to switch off, but I'm going to keep the stream going. Now, I mean, how 5 minutes save energy? Save energy? I don't want to save energy. Ah, dear. My screens disappear, it's me, not anybody else. You know what I mean, you know? One of them will, because there's 3 in here. So crazy, you know? CEX has been filling gaps for me. Yeah, yes, CEX fills gaps, but we know retro game hunt. That's what I want to do. But there's no retro game shops around in Kent. Not where I mean, you know, not at all. CEX has been a go-to for me as well, but it's all the case of what do you want to buy? I mean, I've been collecting the PS3 essentials, and every time I go in there, they haven't got the original disc. They got the game, but they haven't got the red disc because, you know, you want to collect the red disc. Look, there's a PS3 Essentials on a disc. Always go in there. It really upsets Tanya because Tanya knows I collect the Essentials, and she goes, "Well, what the hell are they doing?" I said, "I don't know because it's not classified as a subset as far as they're concerned, which it is. It's a subset of the PS3 normal discs. I mean, you know, I leave them behind. I literally say, no, I want the original discs in the original box with the original instructions because that's the way I collect. That's the way quite a few people collect as well. It's one of those that really winds me up because there was 2 last week. What was it? Monday, Friday, Chris, wasn't it? A few weeks ago. Was it this week? Yeah, Friday this week. Chris come to me. I went down to see what's available, and there was 2 there, 2 essential games there. One of them didn't have the original disc, and I'm thinking, well, what's the use of having the essentials out there on display, which you want to buy, but they don't bother literally saying they ain't got the disc. I don't take them because it's a waste of time me having a case unless you've got the original disc. Oh, winds me up because it's the same as Dartford. Excuse me, I don't live that far from Dartford, so it's even worse. You sit in there. Have you got the original disc to that? Because I'm collecting them. No, I ain't got the original disc. What's the use having the case out there in the first place? Some people don't bother. Some people do. I'm a collector, like everybody else is. That's on here. On the original stuff in the original box with the original disc and the original instructions. You know what I mean? Why are you doing that? Why is CEX doing that? It what really winds me up. It winds Tanya up as well because she knows I come back this high and thinking, oh, crazy. You know, I have got 54 games for you, the essentials. There's 221 to collect. Some of them are not in this country, so it's going to be an ongoing saga whether I can collect every single one. You know, crazy. See what happens. You know, definitely see what happens. So yeah, one of those. It really winds me up when they do that, though. Can't give you the original disc, you know. Yeah, that's the problem. You know, you'll probably see a game. You know, later, people. Yeah, see you later, Goldtooth. You take care, mate. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you know, nice to see you on my live, mate. Yeah, I mean, give Tanya a shout out on the next video. Be appreciated, mate. You know, actually, brilliant to hear from you. Yeah, I mean, you know, I'm off. I'm late Batman. Batman, yeah. I'm into my Batman movies as well. I love Batman games as well. Yeah, I mean, you know. Yeah, I mean, see you later, mate. Yeah, those pieces heart over marketplace value. Yeah, exactly. You know, take care, mate. Thanks for joining me. Appreciate it, mate. Made my day, that has. Other people joining my live has made my day. All of you been here made my day today. It's made my mental health soar, not high. It's now a low even keel. Thank you. You know what I mean? You know. Okay. You know what I mean? You know. Oh dear. Yeah, prices for games on marketplace are just as bad. And then again, you can pick up a few bargains. I picked up an Xbox for Chris on marketplace. Quite a few bits. So yeah, absolutely brilliant. Some, you know what I mean? You know, don't get ripped off though. You know. Anyway, you know what I mean? I'm going to call it a night, everybody, because I'm tired. I'm going to turn everything off. I'm slowly brain down. Nice for everybody to be here for a chat about gaming and personal stuff. I'm going to get a drink. I'll take my dog out for a walk. And it's been nice having you all here. Now, I mean, made my day. Now, I mean, you know. Right. You know what I mean? I will talk to you lot soon, probably privately. If you want to talk to me privately, you can go to my Facebook and message me privately if you can. You know what I mean? You know, and I'll see everybody soon. Hour and a half. You know what I mean? And I will see you lot soon, especially you know me personally. You know what I mean? It's been great getting in the room, having a chat to you lot, and I will see you soon. Bye for now. Thanks for everybody for being here. Bye for now.